To simplify this, we're just going to distribute. So then we end up with negative 6i minus 10i squared. But then you need to remember that I squared is really just negative 1. So to put this in standard form, we always want the real part first. So we have a positive 10 here minus 6i. I think it's a great idea to do these by hand, and that would be good, because if you just do this on your calculator and you get the answer wrong, I have no way to give you partial credit. So I would suggest doing it by hand and then going to your calculator and then checking your answer. So to type this in, we're going to type in negative 2i. So make sure you don't put a minus, otherwise it's not going to calculate that. So negative 2, and then in case you don't know where I is, it is second and then your decimal point down here. So there's your I. So we have second decimal. So we have negative 2i, parentheses, 3 plus 5i. And then when you do that, then you get 10 minus 6i. So it's an easy way to check answer, and we have our work. For this problem, this is really a difference of squares. This is just a minus b times a plus b, and that's important to know because then this is really just a squared minus b squared. Well, our a value is 5, and then minus, and our b value is 3i, and so then we get 25 minus 9i squared. But then you need to remember that that I squared is really negative 1, so we really have it 25 plus 9, which is 34. So go ahead and use your calculator to check your work. We get 5 minus 3i times the quantity 5 plus 3i in parentheses, and then sure enough we get 34. All right. To the next problem, this is an easy distribution. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times negative I is negative 6i. Check with your calculators if you like. I feel pretty good about that answer. And then we come to this next part here, and we have 4 plus 2i. Make sure to distribute the negative. So this is minus 5 plus I. And then our real part is 4 minus 5, so that's negative 1. And our imaginary part is 2i plus I, so I'm really adding 2 plus 1. And that is plus 3i. This one, I would say, oh, it should be pretty simple. You don't need to worry about checking, but because of that negative, you actually might want to take the time to do it. It is a test. It's worth all the extra points you can get. So we have 4 plus 2i, and then minus parentheses 5 minus I. So notice I'm just plugging it in exactly in the format that the problem is given to me. I press enter, and sure enough, we get negative 1 plus 3i.